Hi everyone, this is Aaron for Zollotech, and we're going to review the Droid Bionic. This is Verizon's first dual-core LTE 4G phone, and it has proven to be very nice so far. Let's first talk about the specs. So as you can see, we have a nice screen. It's 4.3 inches, 540 by 960 is its resolution. It has a dual-core 1 gigahertz processor, 1 gigabyte of DDR2 RAM, and it has a very nice 8 megapixel camera on the back, which records in 1080p. It has a flash. We also have a forward-facing camera, which I wasn't able to find specific specs on, but seems to do a pretty good job, especially if you're going to use it for its actual purpose, which is probably video chat, that sort of thing. So the phone itself is $299 on contract with Verizon. It, like I said, is their first 4G dual-core phone. They have some other dual-core phones, but nothing that's running 4G or vice versa. We have some ports on the side. We have a mini HDMI, mini USB or micro USB. We have our 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the top, sleep wake button. On the side we have a volume rocker. On the back we have our camera, as I mentioned. We have a speaker, a microphone, and then on the front we have another microphone, so we have the noise canceling and video recording microphones, forward facing camera, speaker, and our normal Android buttons. So let's go ahead and power it on here. It is on, has about half charge, and we're running on 3G and Wi-Fi right now. I left the theme as default so you could see what it looks like. Let's go ahead and unlock it. And as you can see, it's populated with some of my contacts and things like that. This is the default theme that it comes with, and it's part of Motorola's latest interface they put on the phone. So if we swipe down, we've got contacts. We swipe to the side, you can see things kind of turn as they go in to the next, and it's really fast, really responsive, and does a nice job. Right on boot up it's a little sluggish like most Android phones, but a couple seconds later it's fast as can be and works pretty well. Now let's talk a little bit about battery life. The battery in this holds for what Verizon says is 200 hours of standby time and 10.83 specifically of talk time. It has a 1735 milliamp hour battery, and in my first day of using it, when it was on 4G, it got horrible battery life. But after using it for a day and a half or so, it actually got a much better battery life, and the next day I was able to use it for an entire day. Now if you have low signal on 4G, it really seems to eat up the battery when you're doing tasks. So sometimes I would recommend make sure you're on Wi-Fi if you want to be at the office or whatever using this, because it really does eat the battery pretty quickly on 4G, and that's one of the downsides of that speed. Now that said, on 4G with 1 or 2 bars, which isn't really a true indication of your actual signal strength necessarily, but with 1 or 2 bars I was getting 10 or 11 down by 2 up. So still very fast with very minimal bars. So I can't wait to get to an area where I have full strength and see what kind of speeds I can really get. And that's from in the Syracuse, New York areas. That's the kind of speeds I was getting. And that was pretty consistent inside a building, what I was able to get. So the battery life is able to get you through a day, but if you're going to do any heavy talking on the phone and then playing a game, using it non-stop, you're going to drain the battery pretty quickly. Overall call quality is pretty good. The sound is really good. The speaker's nice. They did a really nice job with this phone, and it is their premium phone. It does come with some nice accessories like the laptop dock that the Motorola Atrix has. This kind of plugs into and you can use. I am trying to get my hands on one to see what that's like, but haven't been able to so far. One of the nicer things about these new phones is the camera on the back. The camera is quite nice and does a really nice job. So let's go ahead and open the camera. Like I said, it's an 8 megapixel camera. I'm just going to take a quick picture here, see how it focuses, and then takes a picture of my hand against the white background. You could hear the little bit of a delay, but it sounded like it took the picture anyway. And there we go. It's not 100% accurate. I am in Baldwinsville, New York. It's not 100% accurate as far as, and you can see it didn't even capture it. So there's a little bit of delay, and the real fault of the camera isn't the camera itself, it's the software that's running it. So you may want to try different apps to take the place of the Motorola software. It's just laggy and can sometimes wash out the image, and let's try it again. There. It took a moment to get a good picture. But like I said, unfortunately, it just doesn't always do a great job. We'll turn it there. Sometimes it washes out the picture, but the camera itself, if you're using the right software, is phenomenal. Other than that, the phone itself is very nicely built, a little bit heavy, feels very durable, and the memory itself, as far as storage, is in here. In the back, we have 16 gigabytes micro SD card. There's the Verizon 4G SIM card underneath it, and this huge battery, but it is needed for what it does. And there's also a speaker here. I didn't mention that earlier. But the phone itself is very nice. If you're going to get an Android device and you're set on Android and you have Verizon, this would be a wise choice, I think. It feels very durable, feels like it's going to last a while, and this Gorilla Glass is nice. The screen is nice and vibrant. Let me bring it up real close so you can see. Use my fingers to let it refocus. We have it refocused. You can see the screen itself is pretty nice and clear. It feels pretty responsive for Android. I'm not necessarily a fan of 4.3 inches. I kind of like a 4-inch screen, but if you like these huge screens, they're very nice. And they also added a nice beveled edge around here, just on the glass itself. So it's really nice. Feels like a premium device, looks like one, and I could highly recommend this as far as Android is concerned. Now, any of you that have used one of these or have one, please feel free to post your comments below and let others know if you really like it and it's as good as I say it is, or if it's something that you regret and wish you had something different. We always like to hear below what you have to say about it. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.